Okay, guys, welcome back to another week. Obviously, we hadn't got maths on Monday, so there's two classes this week, and we'll see how we can get on. I'm having an issue with screen sharing, so ideally, I was going to do a live lesson on Friday because a couple of you asked for a mix in the poll that we did on Schoology. So I'm trying to get that sorted at the moment, and if so, we can do a live one on Friday. So we're moving away from functions now, and we're moving on to arithmetic. So it's a completely different topic. You'll see here in there's our all functions, so our higher level functions, and we're moving on to a new one there, which is arithmetic. Okay, so we go in here and have a quick look at arithmetic. Now, those of you who do business studies will have done a lot of this already, and it's kind of one of these real world things where you can relate to it, and you will certainly relate to it when you go on and have a job. And you've probably heard these a lot of these phrases before in your homes. So we'll have a look through. We'll do a small bit today, and I'll give you a couple of questions to do for Friday, and we'll keep going and try and get this done in about 2 weeks or so. Hopefully by the end of next week, we'll be looking forward to going back to school so we can do this in person. But we will try and do a live lesson. If not Friday, then definitely Monday. We'll try and do a live one so you can ask any questions you have in person. But in the meantime, email me, stick a question in the comments, and I will get back to you. Okay, so when you talk about applied arithmetic, basically you're moving away from X's and Y's and graphs and all that kind of stuff, and you're just going to basic arithmetic, as in using just numbers, percentages, decimals, fractions, and so on. So back to that kind of thing. So the first thing we're going to look at is some of the lingo associated with that. You have the difference between a wage and a salary. So a wage is something you get based on how many hours you work, where a salary, I mean, you get your salary, it doesn't matter. So regardless of the number of hours worked, you just get a set amount of money. And that's what you'll get. When you start working, you get paid by the hour, or you'll get paid by the week, or paid by the month. And generally, if you're on 10 euros an hour and you work 20 hours, you'll get 200 euros. So wouldn't that be fabulous if you were getting 10 euros an hour working in a shop, and you work 20 hours, the fella comes along at the end of the week and gives you a pay packet with 200 euros in it. That would be amazing if that was to happen. The problem is that before you get to take home that money, you have deductions, and all different sorts of deductions. And what you get to bring home after those deductions are taken out is your take-home income. So your take-home pay is what you get. So with these kind of ones here, these two big ones, you have your gross pay and you have your net pay. So gross pay is before deductions. So that's how much you would get if they didn't take any money off you for things like tax and PRSI and a pension levy possibly, or universal social charge, the USC. There might be something taken out for health insurance. You don't know, but there's lots of stuff taken out. What you're going to be interested in is the amount of money that you get into your bank account or into your pocket, and that is your net pay. And your net pay is the take-home money after deductions have been made. So gross is what you have before they take some out of it, and net is what you actually get to take home. Things that they can take out. So you have two different types of things. You have statutory ones. So they must be made. The things like paying PAYE, paying your tax, that has to be paid. And then you have non-statutory ones. So things like you might like to pay your VHI health insurance, you might like to join a trade union. There's lots of things that can be taken out of your wage that you choose to have taken out of your wage. They're non-statutory. So statutory means compulsory. It means you have to pay them. So what are they used for? Well, so the government are taking money out of your pay. Things like paying your guards, paying your doctors, paying your nurses, paying your teachers. You also have this one here, the PRSI. So these are statutory ones. And they're for people who have finished their work and are on an old age pension. People who can't work, they're on job seeker benefit, on the social welfare. You also have if you go on to have children, you get child benefit to feed and clothe children. So you're as well as getting your own money, you're paying for all these things in society as well, and it is compulsory. This new one came out after the banking crash, the universal social charge, and that's just money to pay so we can pay back for the financial crash a couple of years ago. Okay, there's two rates of income tax in Ireland. So and if you earn loads of money, you pay the higher rate. So if you earn absolutely loads of money, you pay the higher rate. But most people will pay some tax at the standard rate. So when we're talking about tax, tax is taken out of your gross pay. But you're not worried too much about that. You're only worried about how much tax are they actually going to take before they give me my take home pay. And that's where these come in here. Tax credits. So they'll say, right, you're going to pay 20% tax. They'll take that off your pay, but then they'll give you some back in tax credits. So this is what you're worried about this here. You're worried about tax payable. How much tax are they going to take? So what percentage tax are they going to take away the tax credits that they give? And you can get tax credits for all sorts of things, medical bills and so on and so forth. So we'll have a quick example. This kind of puts the whole thing together. Your gross pay, your net pay, your standard rate of tax, your higher rated, well, it doesn't take in higher rate of tax, but your gross tax, your tax credits, and how much tax you might pay. So if this guy here, Michael, earns 27,000 euros a year, so that's what he earns in a year, and he pays tax at 20%. So we're not going for the two tax bands at the moment, and he has a tax credit of 1,950. So even though they're going to want to take 20% of this number, they'll work that out, but they're going to have to pay him back 1,950 euros. They can't take the whole lot because that's how much he can earn before he pays any tax. So he instructed, this is a non-statutory one, to pay his annual health insurance of 550 directly from his salary. And people always do that. And pays directly out of your salary so it doesn't feel like you're having to pay out of your account. So what you're wondering, the three questions here. How much money does he pay in tax? How much money in total is deducted from his gross pay before he gets his take-home pay? And what does he get to take home? So we get down here, and as we said, we start off with, here's the amount of money he would love to get, but he has to pay 20% on that. So you can multiply your calculator by 20%, or you can change it to 0.2 as a decimal if you want, or change it to 1/5 if you want, whatever you want. And that works out, if they were to take that amount, they would be taking 5,400 euros off Michael in tax. Well, Michael has this here. He has this 1,950 as a credit. So before they take that away, before they take his tax off his money, they take away this 1,950. And this then is how much tax he actually pays. So that's how much he actually pays. So his tax payable is 3,450 euros. So his total deductions, well, if you take his 27,000 euros, he's going to have to pay the 3,450 in tax, statutory, but he also has this non-statutory health insurance of 550. So the actual amount coming out of his wages is going to be 4,000 euros. And then we can work out part C, his net pay. Well, if he's on 27,000 euros and they're going to take away the 500, they're going to take away the 3,450, which adds up to 4,000 euros. So 27,000 minus 4,000 euros gives us our final answer of 23,000 euros. Okay, and here's some questions based around that, and I've just highlighted three of them for you to do, and they're basically exactly the same as that. So the first one there is going to be here's his gross pay. He gets 22% is going to come off the gross pay, but there's 2016. What's his net income going to be? There's nothing to do about non-statutory stuff there. Question 6 is a different amount of gross pay. There's the percent you're going to multiply it by. you're going to add back on the 1,890, and there is some non-statutory even in this one. Calculate this and this here. And question 7 is pretty much the same idea. The only difference is that you have two non-statutories that you're going to have to add back on and take away from the gross. Okay, so there's 3 for you to try on them. I don't think there's any much confusion in that, but that's going to be one thing you're going to try and do. I'm going to go on and just really quickly look at VAT, because VAT is a tax on everything you buy, essentially. So all your goods and all your services. And again, the business people would have heard a lot about VAT, and VAT going up, and the hospitality sector are looking for a reduction in VAT, because then they would get money. So basically what the hospitality people are saying, that if we sell a burger for €12, well, about half of that's going on VAT. I mean, not half, maybe a quarter is going on VAT. So well, if €3 has to go on VAT, well then the actual restaurant only gets €9, and they don't even get the €9 because they don't have to pay for the burger themselves, pay for light, pay for heat, pay for staff, pay for the cleaning and all that. So they're only going to get €9. So what the hospitality industry might say, well, would you be able to reduce the VAT to 10%? So if the VAT went, so if our burger was €12 and they reduced the VAT to 10%, well then they'd only be paying €1.20 in VAT to the government. And then we'd have €10.80 would go to the restaurant to pay for the burger and the staff and profit and so on and so forth. So VAT is a charge by the state on spending. Any goods, any services, you have to pay VAT. Okay, so if you go in, the example I use here is on a computer game. You say, the new, I don't know, the computer game, so what's it, Fortnite or something, is 60 quid. Well, the VAT on that game, I'm not sure what the current VAT rate is, about 20% or something like that probably. So of that, €12 goes directly from that till in that shop to the government. On diesel, on cigarettes, and in particular the VAT rate is extremely high, and probably rightly so. On petrol and diesel, it's extremely high, and probably rightly so, because they have an effect on health and an effect on the environment. So the VAT rate can go up and down, and usually the cost of the product then goes up or down as well, based on the VAT rate. Okay, so if we have a look at a quick one here, a quick example of looking at VAT. So this person goes into the hairdresser's, Carol, and gets her haircut, and the bill comes to $56.75 for a haircut. It's expensive for a haircut, but anyway. The VAT is charged at 13.5%. Okay. What was the original bill before that was charged? So you're thinking, right, well, if $56.75 includes VAT, because in America now they don't charge the VAT on in with the price. They say that coffee comes to $2.65 plus VAT. In Ireland, when you get the price is just the price. So what they're saying there is that $56.75 is equal to 100% of the haircut plus the 13.5% VAT. So basically, with $56.75 is equal to 113.5% of the cost. So what you're wondering is, how much is the hairdresser actually getting out of this? Or the way they word it is, what was the price before the VAT was added? Okay, so basically what they're saying is that the original bill is 100%. That's what the bill costs. But the original bill plus VAT, as we said, there over the right there, is 113.5%. So 113.5% is the 56.75, as we have over there. The best way to find out what 100% is to go to 1% first. So if you divide 56.75 by 113.5%, that gives you 50 cents. So 50 cents. So 50 cents is 1%. And we want to worry about, we're not interested in what 113% is. We're not interested in what 1% is. We're interested in what 100% is. So what we do is we multiply our 50 cents by 100, and it gives us €50. So the hairdresser wanted to charge €50 for the haircut, but they had to charge 56.75 so that they could afford to pay the 13.5% VAT. And there's the rule there underneath. If you have 113% or 160% or 140% or 102%, the best way to do it is to first get 1%. Get 1% and then multiply by 100 to get 100%. Another quick example for you to have a look at. This guy loves to go to the cinema, young Stefan. On his last trips, the tickets for 2 people cost him $22.50. So for 2 tickets to the cinema was $22.50. And you notice the amount of VAT charged on that was $2.50. So out of $22.50, so if I'm to put that into something you can see, it was $22.50 for the 2 tickets. But if I'm to say, well, if the VAT was €2.50, then obviously the tickets are going to be $22.50 minus $2.50. So the tickets, what the cinema got, was actually only €20 or a tenner a ticket. So I haven't even read the question yet, but we'll have a look and see where they went. So there, they did the same as us. So they worked out the $22.50 minus $2.50. So the cinema gets €20. And you're wondering then, well, what rate of VAT was charged? What percentage was charged? Let's do the other way they can ask the question. So if they say, well, what was the VAT? Very like, what was the VAT? So here's our VAT. And our VAT was $2.50. Over what was the price before the VAT, which was €20. To get a percentage, we multiply by 100 over 1. And that gives us an answer of 12.5%. So the way to work, and the important formula there is, what's the VAT over what was the price before the VAT? And VAT is charged on the original price before the VAT. So you look, what is the cost of the product or service? And then you charge your VAT on the original cost. So you don't get the VAT on the total of cost plus VAT. Okay, so that one there is important. You get the VAT based on the original cost of the product or cost of the service. Okay, so basically, this is another exercise based on that. So question 4 is basically total price. So you have €5 plus VAT of 21%. So you're just going to calculate 21% of 5 and add it on. For question 5 is pretty much the same. It's just working out how much VAT is on the milk. Nothing, obviously. And multiply 21 by the €3, multiply 13.5 by the €2. Add the 3 up, and that's going to give your total shopping bill there. And there's a restaurant example in number 9. Number 10 is they give you the VAT, which is included in the 968. How much would it be without? We had an example of that. And I gave you one about a laptop there, €1,452. And this includes VAT. So 12 is the same as question 10. It's nice handy ones for you to do. So you remember there, I have a couple of questions here based on working out gross and net pay. And I have a couple of examples down here based on calculating VAT. And here is the homework that I want you to do for Friday. And as I said, we're going to try and do a live lesson on Friday if I can get the screen sharing thing working. I'm trying to do that, but because most of you asked for a mix of online and video, so we'll try and do that on Friday. Keep an eye on your Schoology tomorrow, and I'll try and set up a conference if I get the video sharing thing working. Make sure you're getting your homework uploaded, because we're doing videos. That's my only way to check who's engaging and who's not. So I'm filling names into a spreadsheet for your year ahead for people who I do not have work for. So make sure you get the work done and up there, at least a good attempt, because we're putting up solutions that you can correct them, but it's important that the work is in there. I will talk to you again on Friday. Any questions you have in the meantime, email me or stick it up on Schoology. Right, thanks guys. See you later.